Welcome back to MSNBC's coverage of the Ohio 8th District Representative's search to replace John Boehner. I'm Candy Suthers. Welcome. In just a few moments, we're going to bring out the candidates for tonight's debate. We have three wonderful candidates, but let me set the scene for you. An orange orangutan recently stepped out of office after 20 to 30 years holding that office. He was the Speaker of the House, and now he is retired. They've got big shoes to fill, but we have three wonderful candidates running for this position. The Republican is a conservative Christian who was in the military. The Democrat, a young nerd who hopes to give a fresh Bernie Sanders approach to politics. And surprisingly, the Constitution candidate who supports incest and has promised to run for Senate in 2 years' time, and then president 6 years after that, and then step down 4 years later and become the Attorney General. For some reason, this year we have a three-way race between really an incest-loving man, a nerd from the 1990s, and a conservative Tea Party Republican. What is Ohio getting us into? And that's why we're here tonight at MSNBC. I'm joined here tonight with Rachel Maddow, Chris Matthews, and Chris Hayes, but I'm being told that all of their microphones have been turned off because they're dealing with other issues tonight. Apparently, Donald Trump chose his running mate tonight, so that's what they're going to be focusing on while I'm here in Ohio. Okay, I made the right decisions in my career. Let's bring them out. One at a time. He's a retired militiaman. He's a conservative Christian with deep family values and Southern ties. Businessman Warren Davidson.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Now, Miss Suthers, I just want to say you have a nice, sweet asshole.
Thank you, Mr. Davidson.
That ends my opening remark.
Well, it's not time for those yet, but thank you for that. Let's bring out on the stage what we thought would be his main challenger, Mr. Corey Foister, the Democrat in the race. He's 25 years old. He's ambitious, but a little bit retarded. He supports Bernie Sanders for president. That's where we get that information from. Let's welcome him to the stage. Corey Foister, everybody.
Hello, it's me, Corey Foister. Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust. Am I right, Democrats? Let's go, Bernie. Thanks for having me, Candy.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Foister. And last but not least, he's a convicted murderer who escaped from prison, fucks his mom, and has impregnated her. He's a local podcast announcer, and now he's running for Congress and surprisingly shot to the top of the polls. It's Artie DeKaplany, everybody.
Hello, thank you for having me. I am very much excited to be here and talking with these two idiots about the policies that
Can he fucking say that?
Please. It is my turn to speak. Everybody else got to say something when they came in. It is my turn. Before we start, I just want everyone to know my family is very big and very small at the same time, and that I feel no remorse for the crimes that I committed in the past. Thank you.
All right, Mr. DeKaplany, we'd like to hear that. We're going to start with our opening remarks. So in the order that everybody came out, we're just going to give you a short amount of time to just introduce yourself to some of the voters who might not know about you, and maybe outline what you might like to do, you know, what you really stand for and who you really are. So we'll start with you, Mr. Davidson. Your opening remarks, please.
Hello, American people. My name is Warren Davidson. Some people like to call me Dr. Davidson. Except they don't. You know why? Because I don't got a doctorate degree. I didn't go to no fancy rich school. I'm just like you. I joined the military when I was 18 years old. They strapped an M16 to my hand, and I went in and I started killing Iraqis for my country.
How old are you? Asks an audience member.
Well, if you was educated and you're questioning my credentials, we started killing Iraqis in the early 90s. I was 18 in the early 90s. Desert Storm.
Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Davidson. Moving on, Mr. Foister.
That didn't end my remarks.
I apologize.
I'm an outsider.
Yeah, continue.
That means that I don't got no
experience.
experience
is the word
I'm
looking for.
Yeah, I don't got no experience like this damn Corey Foister, who fucking ran for mayor one time probably and didn't win because he's a little fucking pipsqueak.
Well,
Or this little fucking incest creepy ass motherfucker over here.
What?
That ends my remarks.
I personally feel very attacked, honestly.
Thank you, Mr. Davidson. We're now going to move over to Mr. Foister. Mr. Foister, your opening remarks.
when I was in school,
They always told me that I was never going to amount to anything. And then I went and saw Adventures in Babysitting in the Breakfast Club about 37 times, and they really instilled in me the kind of person that I wanted to be. I wanted to be that outsider. That's why I voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary, and why I am a Bernie or Buster, okay? Because I know that we need to get the money out of politics, and that's something that I will do. Because when and if you elect me to this seat, I will stay in it until we elect Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren or another liberal Jill Stein to the office of presidency, so we can work together. That's my ultimate goal, to turn it away from the partisan gridlock that we're experiencing now under these awful presidents like President Obama.
Man, this fucker's put me to sleep.
Mr. Copeland, not Mr. Copeland. Excuse me. I was confused by the mayor, Warren Copeland. Mr. Davidson. Excuse me. Thank you for your remarks, Mr. Foister. Opening remarks from you, Mr. DeKaplany.
Yes, it is my, this is a new dream of mine to serve you as congressman, for one term, and then move my way up the political, ladder. And essentially, my message of incest equality and equality for all has resonated with the people, as you see in every poll, where, I'm getting like 50-60% support as a third-party candidate. I joined the Constitution Party only because they hadn't had the primary, but little did I know that I could cream these two motherfuckers here. So I just want to say thank you for everybody who will support me, and if you vote for me, I will make sure that I do the best job possible and get you where you want to go. Incest for all. Artie Fuck 2016.
Thank you, Mr. DeKaplany. We're now going to move into our first question. The rules are as follows. Each candidate will have 30 seconds to respond. Excuse me. We're going to have 1 minute to respond, I'm being told. I'm also being told that this will be my last debate at MSNBC, that the next time they will ask Rachel Maddow or one of the more professional people to come along. All right. We're going to have 30 seconds.
I believe it.
All right.
I'm just gonna miss that sweet ass of yours, honey.
Yes.
I might be married. I have family values. But I would fuck your ass senseless.
Thank you, Mr. Davidson. That really means a lot to me. We're gonna start.
It's so flat.
Thank you. Something I worked a lot of sitting to get this flat ass. We're gonna start with the first question. Every candidate will have 60 seconds to respond and 30-second rebuttal. We're gonna ask the first question of you, Mr. Davidson. How would you continue or change the legacy of John Boehner? Your 60 seconds starts right now.
Now, Miss Suthers, I was born and raised as a Christian, meaning that I worship our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I don't want no goddamn atheist to be in office, okay? I know Poindexter over here, probably an atheist, supports Bernie. Now, what's the question?
How would you change or continue the legacy of Mr. John Boehner?
John Boehner has a lot of orange in him, and I would probably keep going suntanning.
I see.
So I will continue the orange legacy of John Boehner.
I see. Thank you, Mr.
I'm a political outsider.
You are. Thank you, Mr. Davidson. In a political cycle dominated by outsiders, we can see why Warren Davidson would be catching on, but unfortunately, he is third in the polls.
Have you seen the latest Dayton Daily News poll?
I have not.
It shows that I'm dominating at Franklin University.
Franklin University does make it possible.
Yep, I see you've heard their jingle.
I have.
They got a lot of influence around these parts.
Well, best of luck to you at Franklin University, Mr. Davidson. We're going to move on to Corey Foister now, who's second in the polls behind Mr. DeKaplany. Mr. Foister, how would you change or continue the legacy of Mr. John Boehner, the orange orangutan?
Well, you see, Candy, one of the things that I feel strongly about is inclusion and open policy and as you know, I don't think John Boehner correctly represented the people of the 8th District. You know, he was in it. He was trying to make a case for the entire Republican Party, and what he was really doing was chain smoking, tanning, all on the taxpayer's dollar. And so one of the things that I want to do if I am elected would be to introduce a bill. It would be called the Anti-John Boehner Bill, where every politician is not allowed to use taxpayer money to pay for things that they want. The taxpayer money has to go into a separate account in the politician's pocket, and then they have to divide a section of that money out to go back into the government. Basically, if you get paid by the people, you shouldn't spray tan with the people's money. Thank you. Interesting position, Mr. Foister. I'm not too sure how.
So you're telling me he gets a government salary, he gets paid, and he's not allowed to suntan with that?
Yeah, precisely. I don't think that
don't make no goddamn sense.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that it really benefits the American people how tan you are, how much cigarettes you... Gentlemen,
don't tread on me,
gentlemen, bunny a bus, gentlemen.
Tread on me.
Gentlemen, please. This is an MSNBC debate, not Fox News, am I right?
Don't tread on me, little
bunny
boy.
a bust. Mr. Foister, Mr. Davidson, we're going to have to ask you to leave if you don't follow by the rules. Thank you. We're now going to turn it over to the frontrunner in the recent polls, Mr. DeKaplany. What would you do to continue or change Mr. John Boehner's legacy in Congress?
Frankly, Candy, I don't even know who he is. You know, I see him sometimes behind the president at the big address or whatever, but frankly, John Boehner is a nobody. He is a pansy, he is a pussy. I can't name one thing he wants to accomplish. He was in Congress since the 70s. Who gives a fuck about John Boehner? What I'm going to do is I'm going to run for Congress, I'm going to be elected, I'm going to introduce my signature legislation, Artie fuck, and then I'm going to step down and run for the Senate. I'm not in it to make a career politician, I'm in it to do one good thing for everybody, and that is make sure everybody in this country is equal and has a fair say and can marry and fuck whoever they please. I don't understand. Name one. If you could name one thing John Boehner did that even had a name, then maybe I would continue his legacy. But as of right now, I'm probably going to scratch his name off of the back of the chair.
Thank you, Mr. DeKaplany. I don't actually think his name is on the back of the chair, but that just shows how much of a political outsider you are. I'm going to open the floor for any rebuttals on anything that any of the candidates said. So I
want to say something.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Davidson.
You know, Artie, we don't agree on much. Most of your policy is very liberal, and as you know, I ain't no liberal. You know, in the mind of a liberal, they think that owning a gun means you have a mental illness. I don't think that.
That is not true.
Well, I'm just stating that, but I do believe that if you want to marry your mama, you should marry your mama.
Thank you.
You know, I don't like the government treading on me, and that's why don't tread on me.
Bunny a bus.
Don't tread. I just like the government staying out of our business.
Yeah, I agree, but I also think sometimes that the government should legislate equality, and that is why I'm introducing Artifuck. Do you understand why that?
I just think that they should mind their own business. I don't care about the legislation. We'll leave the legislation to the political insiders. I myself am a political outsider. Where do you want to be?
What does that really even mean?
Where do you want to be, Artie?
Political outsider also means inexperienced and not knowing what you're doing.
I don't have any experience in politics. I got experience holding a gun, though, and fighting for my country. And that's exactly what I'm going to do in Congress.
It seems there's a Warren Davidson fan in the audience. There aren't many of those, actually. So, sir, why don't you come up here and ask a question?
I just told you by the Dayton Daily News poll at Franklin University.
Yes. Sir, why don't you come up here and ask a question to Mr. Davidson, and we'll see sort of what draws you to the candidate. What's your name, sir?
I'm a woman.
I'm your supporter.
Yes, ma'am. If you could please, we are on a time slot. We have wall-to-wall Trump coverage starting at 8, so I need you to ask your question so we can move on with the debate.
I was just wondering, Mr. Davidson. My name is Jenna Jameson, by the way.
Okay.
That's a lie. I just tell people that because she's very beautiful, if you know who I'm talking about. She's a porn star. My name is actually Jenna Johnson, and my family, we pretty poor right now. And the problem is we ain't got good running water down here on Morgan Street in Springfield, Ohio. The water, I don't think it has lead in it per se, but after what has happened in Flint, Michigan, how will you help us in Springfield to make sure our water's clean? Because if I go like this, if I scratch my arm, all this dirt's gonna come off, but I can't do it without scratching because I ain't got no water.
Well, I want to put in place a system in the state of Ohio in the 8th district. I can't decide anything about the state. I ain't no senator. I'm running for Congress to have water filter, so they just have the basic necessity to survive. And I want you to have that.
I very much appreciate that, Mr. Davidson. I want you to know I'm going to work very hard to deliver the 8th district for you in next month, actually. June.
Well, I appreciate that. If you want, you can go over to the next. We got Franklin University on our side. I'm not even sure they're in our district though. So if you want to go to Clark State Community College to start canvassing for us, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Thank you. I'm gonna have to take back the debate stage real quick because now it's just an ad for the Warren Davidson campaign. We can't have that because that would take away from our wall-to-wall Donald Trump coverage. So one of the things that is very important to people in the 8th district specifically, but also everywhere in Ohio, are good steady jobs. So Mr. Foister, what is your jobs plan?
Well, have you seen
Ghostbusters? One of the things that they do is they saw an opportunity, and they saw an opportunity to start a new business, and then that created 3, 4, 5 jobs right there. So essentially what I am proposing is to open, little stores here and there that are just going to provide little services to people in the 8th district. And then what that's going to do is that's going to create 4, 5, 6 jobs, maybe 7 in certain places. And then those jobs are going to lead to more money coming into the economy. So basically it's small businesses that I'm going to start in just empty storefronts, essentially. And that's going to create the jobs.
That's fucking retarded.
Mr. Davidson, please, you'll have your rebuttal.
Who the fuck let this guy on the goddamn stage?
I actually won the Democratic primary. I just thought you'd like to know that little bit of information.
This is the best the Democrats got to offer. Some fucking
Bernie or bust. Yes, I am the best. I won the primary fair and square against PG Sittenfield. So I don't want to say that I'm gonna win this election. But once Mr. DeKaplany stands out of the way, because, he's
You got as much chance winning this election as goddamn Bernie does winning the goddamn election.
Thank you. I really appreciate
it. Thank you. He ain't gonna win.
Well, it may be a steep hill to climb, but I truly believe that...
The only hill to climb is Hillary's, and we need to put her in goddamn federal prison.
I agree, actually. I do agree with that. Bernie or bust, Bernie or bust, Bernie or bust.
Is anybody going to include me at all in this debate? I am the leading candidate.
Yes, Mr. DeKaplany. What is your jobs plan?
I don't give a fuck about jobs, honestly. I'm here because I want you to know that I am going to pass and mandate legislated equality for retards and incest. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to open a door to that way you cannot be afraid to proclaim your marriage to your mother or your incest with your sister, what this will do is it will allow people to be more comfortable. They go out, they buy more dildos, they buy more condoms, they have more weddings. This creates jobs. Thank you. I'm not going to create a legislation that's going to create jobs when you can do it just by doing what you've already promised, which is Artie fuck.
You know, we don't agree on much, but I like that plan right there. You know, you don't come up with legislation to get shit done. You do it like a proud American would. You create a job. You know, you're saying that we need to have more incest weddings. We need to have more incest people to give weddings. You know, not every pastor is going to let a man marry his pregnant mom.
And that'll
create jobs.
Exactly.
That'll create jobs, and you know, I think the sex shop workers, while I do pride myself on my conservative family values, I think the nice people working in sex shops will be doing an awfully mighty fine once they be able to put their dildos in their cousins.
I completely agree. Thank you, Mr. Davidson.
Mr. Davidson, if you would like to answer the question yourself now, what is your...
My jobs plan is what Artie said. I don't got a jobs plan.
You don't have a jobs plan. I see. Okay. Well, we'll see how that's going to fare for you down there at 2% support.
To the people who don't got a damn job, the liberals who don't got a job, who live off the government money,
I think that
Shut the fuck up, Poindexter. I'm talking.
Let me interject here. I don't think you should mischaracterize the entire liberal movement, because you know who actually is voting for Bernie? The working class people. Yeah, and in that
hold on,
and in that phrase, in that phrase is the word working. Thank you.
You know what the best way to annoy a liberal is, Poindexter?
What's that?
Work hard.
Yeah, see, this is where I think we're gonna disagree the most, Mr. Davidson.
Here's what I just want to say.
Have you ever seen the movie?
I want to say something,
Have you ever
boy.
seen the movie Money Pit?
With Tom Hanks?
Yes.
Yep.
That's the classic example of liberals working hard to get something done. Thank you.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck. You know what? If you love your Bernie so much, and you want free college, and you want a job, you want money, you know what the best way to get that is? The GI Bill. Join the goddamn army like I did when I was 18.
Yeah, well,
I couldn't pass the high school graduation test, so I joined the army, and look where I'm at now. I'm running for Congress.
Yeah, let me just say this. Mr. Foister, Mr. Davidson, we actually do have to get back to the scheduled debate. Yeah, but let me just say this one last thing to the point that he was making over here. The millionaires and billionaires in this country are actually doing a lot more damage than what we might believe, and part of that is actually the military. So I'm calling for an total and effective complete shutdown of all of the military. So frankly, in that there would be no GI Bill. And have you seen the movie Bosom Buddies?
No.
There's no war in that movie, and it's a great life for the Bosom Buddies. It's a great life for the Bosom Buddies. Have you seen A League of Their Own?
Yeah. With Rosie O'Donnell.
There's no war in that either. And so if these movies can if these movies can exist,
that movie is about women playing baseball while the men are at war.
If these movies can exist in a world without the military, then so can we.
There is a military.
Mr. Davidson, Mr. Foister,
what an unpatriotic
Mr.
little fuck.
Davidson.
I fought for your rights, boy.
Mr. Davidson.
I killed a man for your rights, boy.
We're going to have to go to a commercial right now.
Come on,
we'll be right back.
Boy.
Welcome back to MSNBC's 8th District Ohio Debate for Congress. Earlier today, we've had heated discussions between Mr. Davidson, the Republican, Mr. Foister, the Democrat, and Mr. DeKaplany, the Constitution candidate. But now we're going to transfer a little more towards Mr. DeKaplany. He's leading in the polls, and all on his signature legislation, Artie Fuck, which would legalize incest and equality. And with that comes incestuous relationships with your family, marriages to people in your family, the right to have a child with people in your family, and it would also allow retards to just be more equal. Essentially, if all of the retards in the world were allowed to vote, Bernie Sanders might actually be winning the presidency right now. But as you know, retard votes only cost 1/3 of a regular vote. So, Mr. DeKaplany, explain to us a little more about your controversial Artie Fuck bill, and why do you think it's so important that the government legislate this sort of equality?
Frankly, Candy, I don't give a fuck if it's controversial, because honestly, it's not. Because look at all the polls. Mr. Davidson references the Dayton Daily News poll. Well, if you look at the Springfield News Sun poll, I am 67% support. Mr. Davidson doesn't even register on this poll, right? He is less than 1%. Corey Foister here, 5%.
I do want to clarify that's because they did not canvass for me at Clark State Community College.
It has nothing to do with canvassing. Nobody cares.
Listen.
Nobody cares about your candidacy. You are the candidate of the Republican Party, and frankly,
and not of the establishment.
We know you're an outsider, but listen. I think it's safe to say we are all three outsiders. 4 if you include Miss Suthers up here. Everybody here is an outsider, and all of us are doing better than someone. Everybody that you beat in your primary. There were like 15 people. Bill Beagle ran for your office. He's a fucking Mike DeWine ran for your office, and you beat them all. So congratulations on that. But nobody is going to vote for a Republican in this election. We've had John Boehner, whoever the fuck that is, in office for all these years. Back to the question at hand. Artie Fuck is not controversial. I think it is something all Americans can get behind, including the Republicans, including the Democrats, because everybody has at one point wanted to fucking marry their cousin. At least their cousin. And in this legislation, that would be allowed. In this legislation, votes would count for 1 full vote. That's the sort of equality that we've been missing in this community, and as an American with a slight mental deficiency and also a love for incest, I think that is something that we need to address in this country. Thank you, Mr. DeKaplany. I apologize for calling your bill controversial. You are the leading candidate here, not only in the 8th District, but across the country. We are seeing overwhelming support for Artie Fuck. Actually, in a new Wall Street Journal poll today, they asked 1,500 Americans what they thought about Artie Fuck, and a poll found that 77% of Americans support incest and equality. Mr. Davidson, your rebuttal.
I don't got no rebuttal. I agree with everything he just said. I've always wanted to fuck my cousin.
I know. Have you ever done it?
One time when she was sleeping, I went in and I just cuddled up with her a little bit. She was fast asleep, and I reached over, took a NyQuil, then I slipped it in her mouth so she would be even more sleepy. Now I reached over and I started rubbing her clitoris, and at first she just thought she was having one of them wet dreams, but I kept going. She kept thinking she's a wet dream. She's like, oh, saying some fucker's name. I don't know who it was. Jeff. Come to think of that, could have been my uncle. And I'm rubbing her, and she's getting off on it, and I'm getting a boner right now.
Me too, actually.
And also, I would be remiss if I said my penis wasn't also going through Lucky Stiff, the movie.
The fuck? Who the fuck are you?
Yes, Mr. Foister, please explain a little bit about why you're running for the office and what you think about the controversial legislation.
I keep calling you Miss Suthers because I don't remember your first name.
Candy.
Candy.
Yes.
You're a news anchor and your name's Candy.
Yeah, because I'm sweet.
You got a sweet ass, I want to tell you that.
I can't help what my parents name me Mr. Davidson. And frankly,
What?
I am a... What do you mean?
I was talking about Candy, and Poindexter starts talking.
I'm playing 3 characters.
I'm like, what?
Actually, Mr. Davidson, I can't really help what my parents named me. So, they thought I was going to be sugary sweet, but little did they know I was actually going to be a hard-hitting journalist. So, frankly, I reject the question.
Okay,
Frankly,
I got big... Can I finish?
Yes, please.
I ain't got no time running this whole debate. I just want to finish.
You've talked a lot, actually, Mr. Davidson.
I just want to finish. I got a big announcement.
Okay.
I, Warren Davidson, am officially dropping out of the race.
What?
Yep, it came as a big surprise just now. I just had a revelation that I'm dropping out, and I'm giving my full endorsement to Artie DeKaplany.
Thank you so much,
I
Mr.
think you're going to do a fine job, me and our 8th District Congressman.
Thank you, Mr. Davidson. Folks, listen here. After this amazing development tonight, I want you to know that in 2018, when I am running for Senate, and my seat is open again, I fully endorse Mr. Davidson to take my place.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but actually, you just said you disagreed with him on almost everything. So I'm actually just curious. Is this like the movie Weekend at Bernie's, where you... Bernie or bust, by the way, but is this like the movie Weekend at Bernie's, where they hold up a man and pretend that that's what they believe, and they believe that he's alive? Is that what you're trying to tell us, Mr. DeKaplany?
Everything gotta be a goddamn movie
listen,
with
Mr.
you,
Davidson.
Poindexter?
Listen, Mr. Davidson. I don't even think I need to be talking to you anymore, because you've actually already dropped out of the race. So frankly, thank you for that, because now that it's a 2-man race, people are really going to decide.
Nobody's going to vote for you.
Listen. Frankly, at this point, Bernie a bust. If they're going to...
Bernie ain't running for your damn seat.
Listen, please. At this point, the American people in the people of the 8th District are going to have to decide if they want to vote for someone who has just announced that they are partially retarded, or if they want to vote for someone...
Now, hold on just a minute.
Hello?
You're telling me...
Hang on, excuse me, ma'am.
Why do you think my husband is partially retarded? My soon-to-be husband, I mean.
Excuse me, ma'am. This is actually a closed debate.
Well, he can't just come up here and insult my husband.
Are you Mrs. DeKaplany?
Yes, I'm Mr. DeKaplany.
Very nice to meet you. Yes, excuse me. I didn't realize that I was in the presence of such a radiant beauty. How are the babies?
Thank you.
How are the babies?
They're doing well. You can feel them kicking.
Yes.
You'll feel them kicking.
They're so beautiful. I can already tell.
I don't know if they.
Is this gonna be a debate, or is this just us touching these incest babies?
Listen here.
Is this like the movie Quarantine, where the babies explode?
Everything does not have to be a movie, Poindexter.
Honey, we have to give him a little bit of respect. He has 2% support in all of the polls. I'm just kidding. Fuck this guy.
I know. I just want to let everybody know that my lifelong dream since a few weeks ago has been to marry my beautiful, my courageous, my adoring son, who, yes, did stab me, did leave me in a comatose state for weeks, but one day I would like to be First Lady when Artie Fuck passes.
That is something that is very realistic. It's very realistic of you to think this.
Yes, universal polling shows that Mr. DeKaplany is actually literally destroying Mr. Foister. As you know, Mr. Davidson actually did not show up on any polls except for the
out, honestly.
I
applaud Warren over here. I thought he was too retarded to drop out.
Yeah, well, actually, have you seen the movie? Slumdog Millionaire?
I've seen the movie Sling Blade, and you remind me just like that guy. You remind me of the guy from Sling Blade. Not because of the French fried mashed potatoes, but because of the retardation. Have you seen the movie Forrest Gump?
Yes, it's a modern classic. Have you
seen the movie What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Have you seen his brother in that movie? He's retarded.
Have you seen the movie? Let me compare this to a situation. What we got here is Friday the 13th mom, Jason Voorhees' mom right here. She's an ugly cunt. She ain't got nothing going for her. She's been stabbed in the stomach. This motherfucker don't even like her. And then you coming up here and you're telling me that I'm a fucking Poindexter and I need to drop out of the race? You know what? Fuck this bitch, honestly. I mean, and
you wouldn't be saying this if I was a man.
Coy,
you would not be saying this if I was a man. You were a sexist and that was uncalled for.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, Mr. Foister, I think
That was uncalled for.
Yeah, Mr. Foister.
I want your resignation.
I agree with you, Mr. DeKaplany. I think Mr. Foister does need to drop out at this point in the race. That was a very sexist comment, and frankly, me, Candy Suthers, I'm very offended by it.
If I were a man, you would say I'm bold. You would say I go for what I want. But you're calling me a cunt? You're calling me a bitch?
Yeah, it was very, very rude, actually, and I, part of my murderous tendencies have rearisen, and I would be actually very...
You have not seen him when he gets
I would be very scary.
tendencies.
I would be very scared if I were you.
Have you listened to the Destiny McEllery hour when he killed him?
Yes, I actually have, and actually I'm a lifetime listener of the Retard and the Jew, and I honestly think that when I listen to the Destiny McEllery hour, that I think that should honestly you're voting
My husband's a good man.
You're contemplating voting for someone who actually murdered his first wife, threatened to murder his children,
Have you ever
tried
seen the
to
movie
murder his
Apocalypse
mom.
Now? You ever seen the movie Apocalypse Now?
I'm embarrassed to say this. I actually haven't seen that movie.
Well, there's a war in that movie, and the war's about to be on the stage.
Very astute observation, Miss.
Have you ever seen the movie Little Miss Sunshine?
I have, actually. I thought it was a modern cinema classic.
Yeah, well, I don't know what happens, but I know there's a thing at the end when they're on stage. And that's what this is going to be like.
I have a big announcement to make. In light of the recent allegations about me being a sexist, and the threats of violence, and the threats of being a retard, and honestly, the very personal nature of this debate, like the great TV film Game Change, I'm going to be conceding this race to Mr. DeKaplany.
We want your full support.
We
want your full support, Corey.
Are you blackmailing me into giving...
No, I'm not blackmailing you. I'm using my influence as the future First Lady to get your full support.
This is why I love you.
Thank you, Artie. I'll do everything I can to get you elected. And after this debate is over, I'm going to jump your bone so hard I'm tripping.
This is a family debate, please. This is a family debate, and we're trying to make... we're trying to make news here. Before we go back...
Oh, my muff is calling your name, Artie.
Yeah, okay, Mr. DeKaplany. Mr. DeKaplany, before we go back to our wall-to-wall Donald Trump coverage, Mr. Foister, closing remarks? I'd like to compare this to the movie that I know. It's called SWAT. And it's in that movie, everything comes in, they take everything down, they tear apart everything you loved, and then they kill you. And that's basically what the DeKaplanys do to everyone that they know. So yes, I am dropping out, I am suspending my donation, and I am suspending my campaign, and I am endorsing, with my full support, Artie DeKaplany for Congress. But I want you to know, I know he already has supported Warren Davidson in 2018, but I will be running against Warren Davidson in 2018, and I will make sure that the first thing that I do as senator or as congressman is repeal Artie fuck at every chance that I get.
No.
Fuck the DeKaplanys, fuck this network, fuck the 8th district.
Remember what we just talked about, Corey.
You know what, Brenda?
My husband has murderous tendencies.
You know what? Go ahead and murder me.
Get your hands off me, Corey.
It's not like
Get your hands off me, Corey. I'm pregnant.
I know you're pregnant, bitch.
Get your hands off me,
I want you to
Corey.
know this is like the movie. At this point, this is like the movie Halloween, because I'm going to kill this fucking bitch right here, and then I'm going to go into hiding.
Corey.
I'm going to stab you.
Pregnant.
Stop right there, motherfucker.
Oh, Corey, stop.
Stop right there, motherfucker.
What are you going to do about it, you fucking partial retard?
Don't call my husband a retard.
You called me a retard all night.
Because you're a fucking retard. You're supposed to
There we go. There it is. She's calling me a retard again. She's very immature. She's probably a fucking moron. And then you wonder why this guy's over here with a fucking samurai knife and a loaded gun. And you're wondering, is this who you want to elect? He's about to publicly execute me on MSNBC. And this is who you're going to vote for? Fine.
No, I'm going to be honest. He's not going to publicly execute you now, but tomorrow you will suddenly die of a heart attack.
I'm going to publicly execute.
Artie, Artie, you just shot him on live TV.
Yeah, and listen here, America. This is not a threat. This is just a promise. You will elect me for the 8th district. You will elect me senator for Ohio. You will elect me president. Or I will use my influence to murder every single person in the country. I was the vice president of Russia. I have these connections. And listen here, folks. You just got punked. I'm not going to do any of that because I don't need to. You're going to vote for me anyway. Artie Fuck is overwhelming popular. Artie Fuck is amazing. And frankly, I'm going to go home. I'm going to write it tonight because I just won a Congress seat, baby. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, Corey. Rest in peace. Thank you to my wife, Brenda. And thank you to my former competition, Warren Davidson.
Thank you for having me.
Now, next week, I want everyone to know we are going to be live streaming our wedding because I want the people of the 8th District to see their congressman getting married because there is nothing that will stop us from being in love, even if Artie Fuck is never passed. Now to Candy. Well, I think it's going to be a very interesting night for Candy Suthers. I tell you that much. I'm being asked multiple times in my head to stay on and talk about what just happened on the Rachel Maddow show. So, Mom, if you're watching, please stay tuned because, frankly, everybody says that they have the moment where they realize they're going to be a big star, and this is it for me. So, from Springfield, Ohio, in the 8th District. I would like to say a warm thank you to future Congressman Artie DeKaplany, his beautiful wife Brenda, the deceased Corey Foister, and the Warren Davidson. And from all of us here at MSNBC, we'd like to wish you a good night. And don't forget to vote this election season for Hillary Clinton, because we can't let another orangutan be in office. Thank you. Now,
for tough.
Piss on me.